Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Black Economic Empowerment. Thank you guys all for being here. This is part 3 of our part 4 series on Black Economic Empowerment. My name is Juavette Johansen, and I will be your host for today. And I have so been looking forward to this day. And, I would say you guys, probably at the end of January, we came up with this movement. Me and 4 of my colleagues, I'm going to introduce you guys, we're talking about you guys, what's going on in the world today, okay? And there was a study that said by 2053, if something doesn't change, Black wealth will be at 0. By 2053, if something does not change, Black wealth will be at 0. So as the song says, you guys, it's time to make a change. And we are the people that will do it. So once again, thank you guys all for being on tonight. Before we get started, you guys, with our guest speaker, and I will not take too long because I know everybody is waiting to hear from him, okay? But I would like you guys to introduce to you the founders of the Black Economic Empowerment Movement. Here they are. And as you can see, there's me, Juavette Johansen. My background is real estate. I've been a real estate broker owner for about 18 years, and I have added financial services to my business about 10 years ago. Next, we have Miss Jill Johnson, who has been an entrepreneur her whole life, and she has owned many, many businesses, okay? And she is, you guys, your living benefits coordinator. Then we have Miss Helena J Connolly. Do not forget the J. Do not forget the J in her name. And her background, you guys, is actually, she comes from education. She was a math teacher for many years in the LA school district. And now, you guys, she is a money educator. She is a money coach. Then we have the beautiful Miss Anita Ferns. And her background, you guys, is engineering. You guys, she was a project engineer. Oh gosh, I forgot what type of engineer, Anita.
Software
engineer. Thank you, Miss Anita. Okay, you guys, for over, I think like 30 years, right, Anita?
32 and a half.
32 and a half years, you guys. And you guys, she is also now a financial consultant. And you'll hear from her on our Thursday meeting. Then we have Miss Lisa McCombs, you guys, who has actually been in insurance for, once again, you guys, over 30 years, and actually has her own school to help people become insurance agents. So these 5 founders, you guys, put together Black Economic Empowerment, because we really do, you guys, want to make a change in our community. And so, you guys, our first series, which we're going to do every quarter, we started off with last week, you guys, we have Mr. Steve Peterson, who talked about how to invest in commercial real estate. We had Miss Nakia Carter to come on to talk about how to qualify to invest in real estate. Today, we have the amazing Mr. Chris Horton, who will talk about, you guys, a special project that he is leading. And then on Thursday, we'll have Miss Anita Ferns come up to talk about, you guys, Black Wall Street, okay? So, you guys, thank you guys all for being here. If you are here for all 4 sessions and we're keeping track, we will have a raffle, okay? So you guys make sure to register, okay? I want to, of course, thank our partners who helped us sponsor this event. We have the Women's Council, ARPB, which is the Association of Real Estate Property Brokers, which I am a member of, yay, that helped us out. We also have the Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce, who I will say, you guys, whenever we have an event, they are behind us 100%. So thank you very much, President Kathy Adams, for doing that, and President Rhea Cotton of the Women's Council. And you guys, we are pleased to have the SBDC also, you guys, be our sponsor for this series. So after we get started, I want to introduce our guest speaker. And you guys, I am very, very honored that he is here today. I met Chris about 2 years ago, actually. And, Chris is actually the regional financial director of the SBDC I think from like Sacramento all the way through Southern California. And you guys, he is really about Black wealth. He is really about helping the community, you guys, to really understand what is needed for you entrepreneurs out there. Chris, you guys, he says, well, you can call me anytime of the day or night at 2 a.m. You got a question, call me. And I think one time, Chris, I think I'd asked him something, and he texted me back at like 3 a.m. He's always up. But I will say this, you guys, what I got most out of Chris was not so much when he was talking about the resources, it was his passion. I felt his passion to want to help Black entrepreneurs. And that's what he said. I said, I don't care what time of day it is. If you have a question, call me or text me, I will answer you. And every time he has. So when I called Chris for this, I'm thinking, he don't have time for this. But I said, I'm gonna give it a shot anyway. And he said yes. So Chris, I know you are busy with your new project. So thank you so much for being on. I'm gonna get out the way. Because once again, you guys, I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions for Chris, but we only have you guys about 40 minutes. If you have a question, please put in the chat room and we promise to get to you, okay? So without further ado, I'm gonna bring him on from the SBDC, Mr. Chris Horton. Welcome, Chris.
Hey, thank you, my friend. Thank you. It's so nice to be here. I always enjoy the opportunity of spending time with you, Juavette. So thank you so much for reaching out. And we have to do this more often. With the Inclusivity Project, which I'll share with everyone, this should be a part of that on an ongoing basis. And so definitely we'll talk to you about that offline. I thought what would make sense, given the current environment that we're all in, right, as entrepreneurs and business owners. I just wanted to take a couple of minutes at the beginning before jumping into the Inclusivity Project to just reiterate and go over some of the resources that are available that are out there for business owners and entrepreneurs, because all of these programs I'm working with, and there's funds available. And one of the things about the Inclusivity Project with, the Black and African American community is, these resources don't always find us. They don't always find our neighborhood. And so to be giving this platform right now, I just want to throw it out there one more time because there are still funds available. The first program I want to share with everyone, it's the first original program that came out. It's the EIDL, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. That's a loan that is provided by SBA directly. You would go to sba.gov to apply for it. This is a loan that's meant to be used for operating expenses. It is a 30-year loan. If you are a for-profit business, it's 3.75% fixed interest rate. If you are a nonprofit, it's 2.75% of an interest rate. There's no prepayment penalty. So if you want to apply for that, definitely you can apply for that one. Working capital is the use of the proceeds. They're not mandating collateral, but if it's available, they will ask. This is not, there's no longer funds available for the EIDL advance. They were doing this up to $10,000 advance, but those funds have been exhausted and will not come back. This program is still available through March 31st. It's a 3 to 5 minute online application, no documentation required. And so, yeah, definitely if that's available and folks are interested, you should definitely look at that. Some of the other things that the SBA is doing, it's a program that they're coming out with. It's called the Shuttered Venue Operators program that's coming out. Like I said, it's coming out. They haven't released a lot of the details, but if you were like a large venue operator, if you were like a movie theater or something like that, this is going to be some funding that's going to be available for you. And then they do have funds for something that's called the Targeted EIDL Advance. So they'll give you a real quick snapshot. If you apply before for EIDL and you got a $2,000 advance. And remember, I made a statement earlier that the advance in the past was up to $10,000. Well, if you only got $2,000, you are going to be targeted by SBA to reach you and let you know that they want to give you the other $8,000 that you didn't get before. So there's nothing you can do to activate this. There's nowhere for you to go to apply, but just know if you didn't get the full 10,000 when they were doing the advance, SBA will be reaching out to you to give you that difference. So whatever you got, subtract it from 10,000 and it's a grant. So you don't have to pay it back, okay? The next program I wanted to share with everyone, because many folks don't know, or not that one yet. I was going to jump ahead, but I want to go over the one that's current right now. It's called the Paycheck Protection Program. The Paycheck Protection Program is exactly what the title is called. It's to protect paychecks for employers and also their employees as well. You cannot include 1099 employees. They got to be a W-2 employee. And as an employer, you cannot use distributions or draws that you take. It has to be paid through payroll in order for you to qualify for this. What we do for you to determine your eligibility amount for a loan, we take a look at a 12-month period. We divide that by 12. That gives us your average monthly payroll. That average monthly payroll, we're going to multiply it by 2.5, and that's going to be the maximum loan amount that you get. I see questions popping up. Juavette, are you okay if some of them I just answer real quick, or you want to wait? Okay. So someone asked about the grant. The grant that I was just mentioning, it was the EIDL. It's a targeted grant. It's a targeted EIDL grant. Is the answer for that one. And then back to the PPP. So the PPP, again, it is where you're going to be able to cover payroll. You have a covered period that you can use between 8 and 24 weeks. It's entirely your choice, but you get the funds 8 to 24 weeks to spend down the money. In order for this to become a forgivable loan, you need to use a minimum of 60% of the funds on payroll. So if you got $100,000, 60,000 of it must be used on payroll. The other 40% can be used for rent, utilities, and other operating expenses. You can use all 100% on payroll to guarantee yourself total forgiveness, but that's the PPP program. There's a multitude of lenders out there that you can work with, so I would encourage you to just look and see what lenders are available. You can go on the SBA.gov website, and they have a lender match button, so you can click on that and put your zip code in, and it'll tell you and get you matched up with a lender. The next program that I want to tell you about, it is the California, it's a program through the California Governor's Office through GoBiz. It's called iBank, and iBank has what's called, there are 7 financial development corporations. I work for the one here in Oakland called Norcal Financial Development Corporation. The qualifications for this is simple, is that we don't lend money, but we offer a guarantee to banks up to 95%. Right now, during the pandemic, we're offering a 95% guarantee. So if you went to a bank and you borrowed $100,000, this guarantee is going to cover $95,000 of that $100,000. So it really minimizes the bank's exposure to risk. Now, this one is for sure, I know our Black and African-American communities don't know about this one. This is one that, I mean, many other communities don't even know about it, but it's definitely something your banks have to participate in this program to be able to do this here. But check this out. So we will issue a guarantee up to $1 million, okay? So we'll issue a guarantee up to $1 million. You just have to be a California-based business. You have to be operating in California. You have to have no more than 750 employees. So most of our mom and pop small businesses have less than 750 employees. And this is definitely one. We have $100 million sitting in a fund right now, folks, and it hasn't been touched. We've done very few of these disaster loans right now, and the governor is very eager to make these loans. The interest rates aren't set because the banks dictate what those interest rates are, but it's definitely something you should take a look at. The last program before we jump into the Inclusivity Project, it's called the California Rebuilding Fund. And this is another really, really good program. It's a $100,000 loan. It's based on your business average monthly revenue. So you take your 3 months average revenue, and if it's less than $100,000, that's the dollar amount you can apply for. If it's over $100,000, you're capped out at $100,000. So it can be 100% of your payroll, but the dollar amount's $100,000. This one's pretty interesting. It is a loan that you have 3 or 5 years. I just tell all my clients, choose 5 years and don't force yourself to have to pay it off in 3. But it's at a 4.25% interest rate. The first 12 months, it's deferred. You don't have to make any payments for 12 months. And then you make principal and interest payments over the remaining life of the loan. If you took the 3-year, you got 2 more years to pay it off. If you took the 5-year, you got 4 years to pay it off. So those are the programs. At least just want to let people know funds are still available out there for small and mid-sized companies. What I'll do is I'll stop here for a quick pause, Juavette, to see if there's any pressing questions that you want me to take right now, and then I can jump into the Inclusivity Project.
Right.
All right, I can read the questions to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, it says, if you've never applied for EDIL advance grant of 10,000, can you apply now?
You cannot, no.
And another question was, what was the grant called again?
Sure. So it's the Targeted EIDL Grant. So it's a targeted grant.
Okay. Another question. I got the email for the remaining $10,000, but they wanted your tax transcripts.
Okay, yeah, that definitely makes sense. And the reason why is because they want to make certain that they're not providing money to a foreign agency or a foreign entity. They want to make certain that you are current with your tax returns as well. They don't want, the government doesn't want to give you money to pay off themselves. So that's why they're checking now.
Okay. Another question. Can you use that money to purchase an existing business?
You cannot. It's for current business operations, not business acquisition. So unfortunately, these days, they're not trying to force your advancement. They're trying to support your survival through the pandemic.
Okay. And a person is wanting to confirm that they can apply for the EIDL loan, correct?
Yes, the EIDL is still open until March 31st.
Okay. Another question. What is the name of the 95% guarantee loan and where do you go to apply?
Sure. So you can go, so the program, it's called the Small Business Loan Guarantee Program. What I would encourage you to do is to go online, and in the URL, you want to type in the letter I, bank.gov, G-O-V, and then you'll click on loans and you'll see it there. You have to find a lender though, so Juavette can share my contact information with you. I have a direct relationship with the 40 participating banks that's in that program. But one of the things I want to throw out there, listen, I'm in this space because you don't have to do this by yourself. It doesn't cost you anything for my help, for my knowledge, for my access. So, I'm not a kept secret. Juavette, you know me, just let me know how I can help you. But don't spend a lot of time trying to navigate through this if you don't need to. I can get you right to the answer immediately.
Okay. So thank you so much. And can you share that website again, please?
Sure. Just go to ibank.gov, G-O-V.
Okay. And we are able to communicate with you directly based upon the information that's stated on the website?
Absolutely, you can. I encourage it.
All right, thank you so much. So we'll pause on the questions for now to give you an opportunity to share all the information that you came to bring tonight.
Absolutely. So this is really exciting for me. So I want to say, April, May of last year, the SBDC saw all the social and racial unrest in the country. And SBA and SBDC said, hey, we need to get involved. We need to get into this game and we need to do something. And so they reached out to me and asked if I knew any Black organizations that supported Black businesses. And we connected with some folks and we went out and did a request for a proposal because we wanted to put some grant money to go into the Black community and do some work and offer some support. No one came back with anything that SBA or SBDC felt that they wanted to move forward with. And so I am actually the only Black person on the finance center team. So I said, hey, you got me right here. Why don't you let me do it? And my boss said, yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. I bet you can do a good job. So write something up for us, present something. I wrote a nice white paper, gave it to them. They came back and said, we love it. We think this is the right person. We got your message. This is much needed. Let's do something. So then he asked me to put a video together. And so I put this, it said 3 to 5 minute video, 2 to 3 minute video, and it actually turned out to be like 3 to 4 minutes. But in that video, what I really shared was from some research that I did at the beginning of February in 2020, there were more than 1 million Black-owned businesses in this country, okay? That was the beginning of February. By mid-April, after the pandemic, more than 440,000, more than 41% of all those Black businesses had shut their doors, closed forever, never coming back. So I really got worked up at that point. It's like, whoa, we're the SBDC and we're not doing anything about this. So if you can imagine with me that, just think about this for a second. So you had 440,000 businesses closed. So imagine how many jobs were lost, how many families are financially impacted. Think about how many of those kids, the quality of their lives have been disrupted now. So now SBA and SBDC said, okay, Chris, you're onto something. That's right. We need to do something. And I said, we need to do something, but we need to do it differently. And what we need to do is we need to make certain that Black and African Americans that have been overlooked, been forgotten, and left out no longer have that experience. And the only way that we're going to do that, because when I was a kid growing up in Magnolia Home projects, there was no Chris Hortons coming into my projects. There was no SBDC advisors coming in my projects. There was no bankers. There was no realtors. Those folks weren't coming into my neighborhood. So how can we as SBDC sit here today and say we want to do something and expect you to find us when you don't know about us? So what we want to do is let's go to the Black establishments. Let's go to the Black businesses. Let's go to the Black pastors. Let's go into the Black community and let them know of all these tools and resources and these services that are available. And if you have someone in that neighborhood that is aspiring to not work for someone else, but start their own venture, then let them know that their taxpayer dollars have already paid for it. So that's what we're doing with the Inclusivity Project. We're at 4 main matrix that we're looking to accomplish. One, we want to invite 1,000 Black entrepreneurs into our ecosystem. Doesn't cost you anything. All you need to do is raise your hand and say, I'm interested. I have a business. I want to grow it. I want to expand it. I have an idea. My sister, I was just sharing this with someone earlier today. My sister is in Texas and she's been a veterinarian technician for 25 years. But my sister and I grew up in the kitchen with my mom, and I know I'm a good cook, but my sister is an amazing cook. And so she has neighborhood friends and colleagues and the church. They always want her to cater, an event. But my sister had no clue that the SBDC existed for her to now move this idea into fruition. So yes, we want to invite 1,000 Black entrepreneurs in. This is the big part. There's 2 big parts to this. The next big initiative is we want to connect Black business owners with $100 million to help them start their business or to help them fund their existing business. So we have funding coming from SBA. We have funding coming from the state of California. We have something called the Technical Assistance Expansion Program from the governor's office. So $100 million. The third one, we're going to help start 100 Black new businesses. We're going to start 100 Black-owned businesses. And then this is one is really near and dear to my heart because my dad passed away when I was 6. So I became the man of the house at 6. It was me, my mom, my aunt, my 3 nieces, and my sister. So I grew up in a household of women. The big part of this initiative, 50% of businesses that we start must be Black women-owned businesses. So I'll pause there. I am extremely excited. Now, before I pause, I got to tell you something. Listen, this is so near and dear to me. It is so personal. It's a holistic approach. We're doing it differently. At least the Chris Horton flavor to this is different than the way it's been done. The entry point is that you have a business and you are an entrepreneur. What's more important to me is changing the generational cycle in the Black community, creating Black wealth in the Black community, having Black businesses serve in the Black community. So this eventually is going to be a for Black, by Black. So every person you talk to on my team will look like us or have been through what we've gone through or know what we've gone through. So when I pass away and I finally leave this earth, the pastor giving my eulogy will say my legacy was this inclusivity project. So that's how serious I am about what we are about to do with this here. They've given me Northern California. We launched on Tuesday. They said, let's make it a statewide program. By Friday, they were contacting SBA in Washington, D.C., said this is now a national program. So we're not limited to California. It's a national program. So if you got folks across this country, don't keep this a secret. Don't do that. Just let them all know around the country that this inclusivity project is coming, okay? So I'll pause now.
All right, you ready for some more questions?
I am ready for it.
All right, we just want you to know that there's communication in the chat room that says that you are absolutely amazing.
Oh,
and that this is wonderful. We are standing in agreement. This is incredible. So
awesome.
we're really grateful. I would just like to reiterate the contact number for Mr. Chris Horton is 408-823-2660.
That's correct. Yep.
Okay. 408-823-2660.
Right.
Okay. The email address is sbdcsv17@gmail. We'll put that back in the chat room.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because I completely, so I've grown up in the SBDC world. So when I first started with SBDC, I was an independent contractor. So I had to go out and create my own email. Then they said, this brother got some value and got some knowledge. So then they made me an employee. And so they gave me an official email. And now they're like, okay, this inclusivity project, since he's going to take it across the country for us, we're going to make him the director of the inclusivity project. And we're going to create this whole new entity. Like they're creating, we're having conversations with banks to talk about how do we rewrite the underwriting criteria when you have a Black or African-American entrepreneur coming to seek financing for you. So I'll put in the chat the new email that I finally graduated and got.
Well, congratulations. We're very excited about that. And another question is, someone wants to know if this recording will be available, and it absolutely will be available to you.
If you have registered, we're going to blast it out. If you have registered, we will blast it out to you guys, okay?
All right. So if you're registered, you can just feel free to look forward to receiving this recording in your email. Awesome. Someone else wants you to know that they're tearing up right now, past the Kleenex box. Someone else extends their blessings to you, brother. This is exactly what they were looking for.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And another wants to know, how do you go about joining the inclusivity program?
Absolutely. I'll put it in the chat, but you just go onto any search engine. You type in theinclusivityproject.com. Wait until you see this amazing website they created for us. I mean, I was in it. I'm in and out. No, take that down. That's misrepresenting, and I told them, listen, I don't want anybody or any messaging to be singing empty promises and sweet Christmas gifts in somebody's ear. keep it real, keep it authentic, keep it genuine. You know, that's what this is really all about. And so, yeah, I think, and I've had nothing but great reviews on that website, but go to the website. It's amazing. And there's a button there to sign up. Everything that you do with me in this inclusivity project, you've already paid for with your taxpayer dollars. There is no cost to do anything, to have any of the support, the resources, the connections in this inclusivity project.
Thank you for sharing. I must say, I did review the website and it is amazing. I'm extremely excited, and congratulations to you once again. Another question, for the new startup business, do you help business plans? Do you help individuals develop their business plans?
So this is what you're going to love about this thing that we're doing. Check this out. So my vision and the Chris Horton flavor to this is, listen, we help business owners and entrepreneurs from an idea. So from inception to succession, we want to make certain that you have a succession plan and an exit strategy, that you exit the business on your terms and you live the quality of life you want in retirement the way that you want to. So we're going to help you with that. We want to make certain that when you finally do exit your business, that you have a retirement in place, that you have a retirement strategy in place. These aren't conversations we were having years and years and years ago. And so I don't think they're still being had right now, but they need to be. Like, we need to have these conversations. But the goal is for you, that when you finally go to your resting place, that your money has outlived you, for you to leave a legacy. And that legacy can be with your family, it can be with your church, it can be with the community. But I had 3 of my family members pass away October, November, and December of last year. When I went home for their service, nobody had any money. No one saved up for anything. And it keeps happening and happening and happening. So we, at some point right now, got to make certain that we redirect that number that Juavette talked about in 2053. We can make a difference and make certain that that does not happen.
Wow. Well, that's why I am so grateful for this collaboration, because that's where we fit in. We help people to develop their legacy and to make sure that they never have to experience such. So again, I'm really excited about us being here today. Now, a couple people have made comments about reaching out, and I'm going to repeat your phone number.
Okay.
So in the event that they need to reach out because they have not had an opportunity to be able to connect or get their results, the number once again is 408-823-2660. Someone else indicated that they actually signed up for the SBDC through the link from the Inclusivity Project, and it directed them to talk to an intake coordinator.
That's correct.
The proper process. And
That's
can you
correct.
elaborate?
Yeah. So here's the process. So you go to the website, you look it up, you read all about the program, and you're like, absolutely, I'm in, I want to join this here. Because of the volume that I know I'm going to be getting, because of some of the large organizations that I have that have databases, tens and 20s of thousands of people, that I'm going to get this influx. And I personally made a commitment that everyone that joins this inclusivity project will have a welcome conversation with me. And so in order to do that, I had to set up a centralized intake so that we can get you into our system, so then we can have a systematic process to be able to have this ongoing relationship. Because what happens is, after you and I talk, and whatever we identify your priorities are, then there's a team of folks that you'll be assigned to work with. I'm always going to be your point person. I'm always going to be your relationship manager, so to say. But I have a team of folks that specialize in different areas. And in order for me to pay them, they have to record that they've talked with you, worked with you, helped you do something. And so they get paid an hourly rate to be able to do that. And so in order for us to do that, because you're probably going to work with a multitude of folks, because one person doesn't do everything. So those specialists in different areas, we need to have a centralized system to be able to help you.
Awesome. Now, I want to make sure that the website is clear: www.theinclusivityproject.com. And I would also like to have a response to an individual that stated that it seems as if the project is restricted to those individuals in the state of California. However, you did mention about providing resources on a nationwide basis. Can you please elaborate?
Absolutely. So what we've done is when the birthplace of the Inclusivity Project is Northern California. So SBDC is broken up into regions, and in California we have 5 regions. So Chris Horton's in Northern California. We took the initiative and the lead, and we created this. And then Southern California and Central California all heard about it and said, "Hey, we should make this a statewide initiative." And initially, that's where it was at. But then I'm on the phone with folks in Louisiana and Texas, and then I get a phone call from a senator in Connecticut, and then I'm on a radio show in New York. And so just by default, they saw the influx and they saw the receptiveness and they saw the desire to want to be a part of this. And so they've then made it a national program. So if someone's in another state, they're going to talk to me from that other state. I already work East Coast time, so I'm already up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I get that covered as well with some financial institutions I work with on the East Coast. But their initial conversation would be with me. And then if they're in New York, there's a local SBDC in every county around this country. We would connect them with someone with those expertise in that particular area to be able to service them.
Awesome. Now, I just want to state that we only have 10 minutes left. So we want to preserve the rest of the time for Chris Horton to be able to share with us whatever else that he has. But I do see that people are asking, how do they connect with us on Thursday evening to talk about the Black Wall Street? Or how can they get a copy of the video because somebody signed them up and whatnot? So feel free to go to www.joinbethemovement.com. joinbethemovement.com. Chris, I'm going to thank you for placing that in the chat room, but I'm going to hand the microphone back over to you. This is
I'm just, at this point, I've covered, what I really wanted to get out and introduce to folks. I enjoy the questions to answer for folks. So if you're okay with it and we can just do a fire drill and get through as many questions in the time that I have remaining, I would love that because, I could go on and on and on, and you can see my excitement and you can see my passion and, can hear the sincerity of really wanting to do work and really support our communities and make a difference. So I can do that all day, and we can do it one-on-one. So y'all just give me a call and let's talk about it. But
I will say this, you guys, I have taken notes on all the programs. I will type them up. I will have Chris check it. And then I will also send out to everybody as well, because Chris, this is, oh my God, I can't even say. So you guys, I take very good notes. I will type it up. I will have Chris check it, and you guys will all get a copy of that as well. But yes, so Chris, go ahead with any more questions, please.
Sure. Yeah, any questions, please throw them at me. I love it.
All right. Well, someone is asking to forgive them, first of all, if this has already been answered. But if you've already received the full $10,000 grant, is there any additional grants without having to apply for a loan?
Right now, there isn't. There is something that we just closed, which was called the California Relief Grant. We're still in the process of dispersing that $237 million. The governor has allocated another $2 billion to that grant program. We're waiting for there to be an intermediary, so a lender to contract with the governor's office to be able to disperse those funds and go through the application process. We did it here at Lendistry. We are looking to do it and continue with the $2 billion. So definitely between myself and Juavette and the group here, we can keep you posted. So I'll let Juavette know. I'll make myself a note. And when I know that we have an intermediary, then I can let Juavette know, and whatever platform, I'll have it on my social media. So if you're on social media, I have a social media team that posts everything. I'll always post things like that, but that's the only other grant that's going to come up.
Okay, thank you. We have a couple testimonies here of individuals who have already signed up on the website. And one young lady indicated that she received a call last Friday from the SBDC indicating a mentor. that's going to be assigned to her to walk her through this process. That's wonderful. Someone else commented about your passion and also the website. So once again, I would like to share the phone number, 408-823-2660. And the website, www.theinclusivityproject.com. If you're interested in our movement, that will be www.joinbethemovement.com, and you will be placed on the list to be able to receive future emails about activities that we're hosting. If you need to contact Chris Horton directly, his email address is chris@theinclusivityproject.com. Next.
I was just going to say, there's one, it looks like Jerome Smiley asked a question. I want to make certain I catch that one. So you're in Michigan, go to the inclusivity. Oh, I'm the same one for you. Go to the inclusivity.com because everything is funneling through here. If you go to Michigan, you could be my first Michigan business to let them know that we're going to be doing something in Michigan now. So definitely come to the inclusivity project.com website. They'll do an intake here. They'll know you're from Michigan, and then you and I will have the preliminary talk. But then when we're ready to actually have you assigned to an advisor, we would contact the Michigan SBDC local center and get you connected.
Okay, very good. I have a question from a landlord. They want to know if there are any grants or loans that are available for rent money that they're not receiving due to the moratorium.
No, unfortunately, they haven't put anything in play just yet on something like that. But what I would encourage you to do, reach out to me because we have a group of attorneys from that's called Case Force out of UC Berkeley that we work with. And so they've done some work in regards to landlords and rent and evictions and things like that. Let's explore it. But again, this is a challenge, right? You're challenging us to help solve any problems or to help support any opportunities or aspirations. So yeah, reach out to me, remind me of this conversation and what you inquired about, and then we'll reach out to the attorney team and see what they say.
Okay. And Chris, can you share with us, are there any businesses that just absolutely do not qualify?
Not just, yeah. If you're in any illegal, illicit business, yeah. So we can't help support you there. If you're doing anything illegal, yeah, just keep working with the group you're working with. But SBDC won't be able to do anything there. Other than that, we have no restrictions. One that's real on the fine line is the hemp and cannabis industry. Hemp, we can definitely work with. Cannabis, if it touches the plant, we can't because that's still federally illegal. But if it's hemp-based and it doesn't touch the plant, we have a number of lenders that would be lending in that industry. Gentlemen clubs, we don't do too much over there neither. But anything that's illegal, we won't be able to do anything with it. And I do want to let folks know, I did get clarification. Hey, if someone has a criminal background, they are not excluded from this program. I was really adamant about pushing on that. Unfortunately, I got relatives that have not always been above board and got, the background, but I didn't want them to be excluded. I don't want anyone like that. I don't want that to be a deterrent. So just realize, criminal backgrounds are not excluded from participating in this program.
Awesome.
Lisa,
That is some amazing information.
Okay? Just one more question if you have it.
Okay, so what advice would you share with the young millennial? Okay, it just popped off. What advice would you share with the young millennials starting a professional business in medicine or law?
I would encourage that millennial to connect with me here first and foremost, because one of the things that we're doing is it's targeting millennials and starting to have that conversation. We're actually doing a program with Junior Achievement where we're going to be going into Black schools starting with third graders and teaching them what it is to be an entrepreneur. And we're going to be with them each year. So you're in the third grade this fall. I'm going to follow you to the 4th, to the 5th, to the 6th, until you graduate, because that's a win for us in the Black community. More of us starting to think about owning our own business as opposed to going and get a job. Why not the job be one that you own and you create jobs for more people in our community? So there you go.
That's awesome. I know we said one more question, but I see a question that I like to know the answer to that I just have to ask. And it is, do you already have to have an EIN and an established LLC before first applying?
Not at all. We walk you through that. We walk you with completing the application, which one. We have a conversation with you about, what's the best business structure for you? Does it make more sense to be a sole proprietor, an LLC, a partnership, a corporation? We have tax accountants that's going to tell you what the tax ramification would be for each one of those entities. All you need is, hey, I have an idea, and then contact the Inclusivity Project and we'll walk with you.
Wow. Well, this information has been absolutely meaningful, very impactful, very empowering. I am so grateful to have this opportunity for this exchange. Our time is up.
Okay.
And I believe many of us are still hungry for more. So what does that mean? We have to make this available for us to be able to have an encore.
Absolutely.
So stay tuned. If you have not joined, join bethemovement.com. Pray, spread the news to others to also join so that you will be able to be privy to the email correspondence. So now I would like for everyone to smile so that
come back on Thursday. Remind you to come back on Thursday.
Yes. Thursday, same time, same place, same Zoom for the Black Wall Street with none other than our amazing engineer, financial coach, money coach, entrepreneur personified is going to deal with the Black Wall Street. You don't want to miss that one either. So let's smile so that we can take a picture. We have several screens that we need to take. So if you can smile, who's taking a picture? Juavette, are you taking a picture?
Sure.
Thank you so much.
I'll take it for you, Juavette.
Thank you
Dr.
very much.
Wait. Dr. Roche, you on?
Yes, I'll do it
Dr.
for you.
Roche will do it. Thank you, Dr. Roche.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Roche. She's amazing.
Okay, everybody smile, get ready. It's a whole bunch of, screens. So y'all got to stay cute for a while. That was only one. It's 7 screens. Keep smiling. You really cute, Antonia. I see you. Oh, wait. One more. Hold on. I'm still going through. Ooh, it's a lot. Lord. Okay, we only got one more. And you guys, you can stop smiling because this is just everybody else's.
Once again, Chris Horton, thank you very much. I know you are a very busy man. We can feel your passion, and anything that the B movement can do, to be a part of what you're doing, we are here. When you talked about going to the schools, we are there right with you. One thing that we are all about is making sure that the next generation is okay. So once again, you guys, please come back on Thursday for Black Wall Street. As Chris talked about, you guys, entrepreneurs, they don't have retirement plans, they don't have their money in order. So on Thursday, that's the subject. So please come back. Once again, everybody give Chris some love.
Yes.
We appreciate you. And you guys will see him again.
Absolutely.
We promise.
Thank you, Mr. Horton.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're a blessing.
Thank you. Great information.
Thank you guys. Stay safe.
Thank you.
My brother. Have a good evening.
Thanks. Awesome. Thank you.
Extremely awesome.
Tremendous blessing.
We need it.